Hi friends, before we begin, I want to ask you something very honestly, not casually, not just for the sake of asking, but genuinely I'm asking, did you go through the day 3 part 1 and part 2 properly? Yes, I'm asking. Did you understand why notices came and we should and how to respond to them? Or you just listen them and you just move forward? Yes, I'm just asking because if you have not reflected on those two parts of the day 3, right? Then I would genuinely suggest please go back and watch part one and part 2 of the day 3. Take a notepad and write down your observation, your key takeaways, and then back to this part 3. And this part 3 is not about the understanding the problem. This part is all about the making sure you do not face the same problem again, coming financially. Yes. So friends, till now we have spoken about cleaning your books, understanding the mismatches, and handling the compliance, right? And responding the notices. But now, about this third part. But now, the real question is like, how do you avoid of all these types of repeating this kind of notices questions that I'm going to cover in this part 3 of day 3? Because if every years look like March pressure, April confusion, and the May cleanup, and the occasional notices, then the system is not improving, right? And the important thing is, and if the system is not improving, right, the stress will not reduce. So today we are talking about the compliance, right? We're talking about the compliance. We are talking about discipline, because right, because compliance without discipline becomes a pressure, and discipline converts the pressure. And what the discipline converts the pressure into control. So friends, let me start with a simple observation, right? Most businesses do not fail in the compliance because they don't know about the compliance. They don't know what to do. They know everything, right? They just fail because they don't follow a consistent system. Simple. They don't follow the consistent system. And knowledge is not the problem. Consistency is the problem. And that is exactly what we need to fix. Now think about this practically. At the beginning of every financial year, everything feels so clear and looks so fresh. Fresh books, clean start, and less stress, no pressure, a strong intent that we will do this year. And you feel this year will be different. But when the month passes, what happens? When the passes, what happens? Entries start getting delayed, reconciliation get postponed, and yes, follow-ups get ignored. And slowly, what happens? Slowly, the gap starts building, as happening in the previous years. It continues, and by the time year end arrives, the same issue. You are not managing the data. You are managing the accumulated pressure, and that is where stress actually come from, not from work itself, but actual come from the accumulation, right? Because when small things are not handled on time, they just accumulated. So friend, they are not disappear, they don't disappear, right? They pile up and they become the complicated. So what happens? So complicated work increases the errors. So the first mindset shift is very simple. Do not allow work to accumulate, right? Because accumulated work becomes the complicated work. and it affects C, and complicated work creates the risk. Now let us move towards solution, not the theoretical but practical. Right. If you want to avoid notices next year, you don't need a complex system, right? That I need a complex system. No, you don't need a complex system. You don't need the heavy documentation. It's become very simple. You just need a few consistent habits that you must follow. Just you must follow every month without any fail, without any with full discipline, with consistency. You need something habits to follow. The first habit is the monthly discipline. Not I'm saying you need to do the yearly review or quarterly review. No, simple monthly discipline, because monthly review that reduce your yearly stress. Simple terms. And I will tell you in simple terms more. See, at the end of every month, right? At the end of every month, you take some time to review your data. Just you just need some time to review your data. Not a full day you need, not a complicated process. Just a focus check you need. And you ask a simple question: Have all the entries been recorded? You're asking simple question: Have all the entries been recorded? Are expenses complete? Is GST data aligned? Is TDS handled properly? Are receivables and payables reviewed? Are there any unusual entries? And this one habit, of asking questions at the month end can change everything. Just because you are, instead of identifying problems after 12 months, you are identifying them just after 30 days. And these 30 days are easier to solve. Simple. Now the second habit is a regular reconciliation. We have already spoken about the GSTR 2B and the purchase register, right? Now, now instead of waiting till year end, review this monthly. You don't need the perfection. You just need the consistency, right? So identify the major mismatches, take actions, follow ups, and yes, close the gap. Why? Because reconciliation is not a one-time activity. It's a continuous process. It's not a one-time activity. It's not a one-day activity. It's a continuous process. And when you giving the relevance, when you treat this, it as a continuous, right? Then the pressure automatically reduce. Simple. Now come to the third habit. Third habit is all about the vendor discipline, and this one of the most ignored area, right? In practically I'm saying, because many businesses believe that if they are compliant then everything is fine. But your compliance is connected to your vendors. Exactly. See, if your vendor, for example, if your vendor delays in filing, if your vendor reports their data in their returns incorrectly, so what happened? It affects your data as well, because it's all the interrelated. So instead of reacting later, build a simple system, right? Take your key vendors, check their filing behavior, and follow up when needed, and create the accountability, because this type of connection is real and it must be managed proactively. Seriously, must be managed. Now come to the fourth habit, is about the tedious awareness. Not detailed calculation, not technical complexity, but awareness. I'm saying, like, you should know which payment attract tedious. You should know which payment attracts tedious, whether it has been deducted, whether it has been deposited, and whether TDS returns have been filed. You don't need to do everything yourself. First of all, this should be clear. But you should know, definitely you should know what is happening, right? Because it's all about the awareness, and awareness creates the control, and lack of awareness creates the dependency. Now come to the fifth habit, is the data consistency. Data consistency. This is very important. See, your turnover in GST, your turnover in books, your turnover in income tax should not feel disconnected, right? Even if there are differences, you should know why this type of differences exist, because explained differences are manageable, right? But unexplained differences that creates a risk, and most notices are triggered by just because of these differences that are not clearly understood. It's most important thing. Now let us go deeper, right? Why do businesses not follow these habits? It is very simple to follow, no? They don't follow these habits because they don't think it is urgent. And monthly review does not feel urgent. Reconciliation does not feel urgent. Vendor follow up does not feel urgent. Tedious tracking also does not feel urgent. But the consequences always feel urgent, and that is the irony. The work that is preventive feels optional, and the work that is reactive, it feels the unavoidable. So if you want to change your experience, you have to change your approach from reactive to proactive, right? Now, now simple terms. Now let us talk about the discipline, because systems only work when discipline supports them, right? And just at the end of this video, you may design a good process, but if it is not followed consistently, it does not help, friends. Because disciplines, what is the discipline? Discipline means doing something regular basis, reviewing on time, not postponing the things, not ignoring, and yes, taking the ownership. And this is not just about the accounts, it is all about the business maturity. So, friends, yes, it is the end of this session. So, thank you so much, and you complete all the day one, day two, day three part. Day three series, and many congratulations. Just make the notes, and yes, grow more, grow this business. Thank you so much, and please follow me more. Please subscribe this channel. Thank you so much.